my recording. Oh, Lizzie, I'm so proud of you for joining Blab. It's really good fun. It's really good. And I just did a Blab about half an hour ago on next level, sort of next level in your business stuff. And I really wanted just to sort of do one again and just kind of jump back in, because I had lots of people who missed the first one who just wanted to have a little conversation. So, so what I'm going to be doing a little series of Blabs around getting your business to the next level. And what I'm interested in is the pillars really that can get you to that next level, whatever that may look like for you. Now, for some people, the next level is just making your first sale. It might be onboarding some more team members. It might be getting to your 6 figures. It might be going to your first million. I mean, I know people who are at each level, and the thing is, guys, we all start from somewhere. And so anyone listening, I'd love to hear what the next level of your business looks like for you, where you're at with that and what goals you have. So, feel free to kind of type me a little message. Hi, Arturo, thanks for joining us. We're talking about next level in your business, what it might look like for you and how to get there. And I want to add that, my business in its current form, which is, purely online, it's mentoring solopreneurs to work in smarter and more creative ways and to get their message out to the world. It's only been in its current form for about 2 years. And, I've seen a massive growth in business, and, I'm growing all the time. And so it's really exciting to see not only where I've come from, but also to see where my clients and where my audience are going to next. Awesome. So Lizzie says, next level for me is starting to do work that's not just time for money. Lizzie, that's awesome. And that is such an exciting point to be at, because, not doing work that's time for money will enable you to have an income portion that is, that is more passive. I don't believe there's ever entirely passive income, because obviously we have to do work behind the scenes to manage the product, the customer experience, the sort of tech behind it and stuff. But it's so great to be able to leverage that. So I'm really excited for you. My first kind of online product was last summer, when I wrote, Blogging Business Bootcamp, and that carried on selling and selling and selling. And, that was my first experience of seeing sales come in months later, for something which I wrote, sort of months before, and I kind of hook up, using if this then that. So I hook up my PayPal payments and my Stripe payments, so that whenever someone's paid me, I have a text saying, hey, you've just been paid. And so I kind of did that to see how many times a day people were buying something that I'd already done, and it's such an exciting point to be at. And I think it's really important when you're building your business to the next level to both be inspired by people around you, to kind of say, hey, you're doing something really cool, I really love that, but to not kind of compare yourself too much, or to feel really, oh gosh, I can't do that, they're miles ahead of me. Like, surround yourself with people who are really inspiring, who are doing some really cool stuff and you can learn from. Hi, Syed, who are kind of really, I'm not going to open up a seat just yet, my love. I'm going to open up one in a minute, if that's okay. And so I'm talking about inspiring yourself with people who are really exciting, who are really motivated, who are real action takers. And for me, certainly the places where I found those people have been in Facebook groups of courses or of coaches and mentors. So it's taken an investment in a course or in a coach or in a mentor to be surrounded by the right people. And I often think that that's part of the value in investing in your business and in yourself, is to have the right people around you, is to kind of have the people who are also action takers, who are also working on their businesses, taking time and money to get themselves to the next bit. And also, guys, I really think that, if you haven't been able to invest in your business yet because of maybe financial constraints and stuff, like, if you start really super small and you can go really incremental on those investments. So you can, could start off even with like a $5 ebook, read it, and perhaps the next ebook you get is $10, and then perhaps you buy like a $20 e-course, and you go up and up each time. And if it's a stretch for you each time, you're challenging yourself, you're going to, if you've got like a little bit of skin in the game with investing time and money in something, you're really going to take action on it. So, so Lizzie, what was the first thing that you invested in and on that was a real kind of push for your business? And do you want to jump on to have a seat, chat? Because you're welcome to, but unless you're working away. I'm really interested. That's too scary. That's totally fine. No, that's totally fine. So for me, I think the first thing I invested in that felt like, oh, that's really scary was Leonie Dawson's Amazing Biz and Life Academy, which is, I think it's about $400 or something at the moment. At the time, that was a massive investment for me. That was a real kind of, oh, I've got to break down the payments. And I've got to sort of jump into it. So Lizzie, your first one was the multi-passionate must-haves bundle at $97. Right, okay. And I've got that bundle as well. And that's such a brilliant bundle, isn't it? Hi, Betty and Co. Hi, Abdose Dreams. Is that my Sarah Betty? Have you just joined me? Hello, my lovely. So do you want to jump on a chat with me while we're talking about Business Next Level, or are you also hiding behind the blab just a little bit? Anyway, you're welcome to call in if you want to. So for Lizzie, hi there. So for Lizzie, it was a $97 stretch. You're in PJs. You're welcome to call in PJs. You're totally welcome. It's totally up to you. And now, Lizzie, I'm sure that spending $97 on something is probably pretty much a no-brainer, right? If it's something that you really want, I'm sure you'll just be like, that's fine, I need it, I'm going to get it. And you've probably gone much higher than that. So for me, it was, as I say, it was Leonie Dawson's Business and Life Academy, which was a massive stretch, and I had to break down those payments. And then I did Becca Tracy's Uncage Your Business, which is brilliant. And then, I've kind of gone up and up from there and invested in more coaches and more mentors. So Liz invested $3,000 £3,000 on various things in the last month, getting set for next year, and that's amazing. That's amazing. So, and here's the thing, Lizzie, I'm sure I know this myself. If you'd have said to your previous you last year, hey Lizzie, next year you're going to spend $3,000 before Christmas on investing on your business, I'm sure you would have been like, what? And I would have been the same. And so it doesn't have to be get yourself into debt, do this now to rocket yourself. If you're not in the space to be spending a lot of money, you shouldn't be, go really, really small. And, some of the best, groups and stuff have like a really low cost. And actually this is why I've done my Next Level Lab sort of membership site now, a membership group, because what I was seeing from my audience, and my audience is kind of split between some Bambis who are really starting out and trying to sort of DIY stuff in business and don't really have much money to spend, or the real sort of killer big names in business. And so I really wanted to serve these people as well. And I've got my Next Level Labs, a sort of membership group, where we have a monthly call with me. We've got loads of premium content in there, and that's $49 a month at the moment, recurring. It's going to go up to sort of 97, but that's kind of enough skin in the game to invest your time and to show up for it and to get real value from it. But it's not like a massive, really premium sort of coaching and mentoring, package. So Sarah, if you don't want to jump onto Blab, I'd love to hear, your first investments in your business, and also anybody else. Mahmood, hi, thanks for joining on this Blab. So the other things that I think are really key in getting your business to the next level. So we've talked about investing in your business and starting really, really small. So start super small, start where it feels a little bit scary for you, but not too, and build up incrementally, super slowly. But stretch yourself a little bit more each time. And, we talked about the importance, excuse me, turn my phone off, the importance of being surrounded by people who, who are of a similar mindset to you, who are even beyond that, who are completely, more inspiring to you, who are at the next level than you. It's really important to see what happens, the next level above you, so that you can be inspired by that and take action to get there. It's almost, if you surround yourself by people who are billionaires when you're kind of, making your first $10, that can be exciting, but you can also feel a bit of a disconnect because you're not quite sure how to get from there to there. Whereas if you're if you're starting to make, say, $1,000 a month in your business and you're hanging out with people who are doing 5,000, then you're like, cool, that's, I can kind of see my steps to get there. And often, like I was saying, for me, finding those people has been in the groups of the courses and the stuff that I'm, in, because they're people who take action and who invest in their business, if you're hanging around with people who are tire kickers, who are kind of, oh, you know, I want business to work, but I'm not really doing anything about it, you know, they're not going to inspire you and uplift you. Hi, Angie. So Sarah says, my first investment was very much in the website and PR side of things. I have yet to get a coach, but I really want one. And that's the thing, you know, different people start with different stuff. Hi, Angela, nice to have you here. You know, how you learn and grow, you know, we can all learn from different parts of things. So, you know, I really wish I'd got support and invested in myself earlier. My block was always financial. It was always, oh my gosh, but, you know, I don't have much money coming in, but I really need to get to that bit and I can't quite see how to get there. And I flailed around, wasting time and panicking and all that sort of stuff. I can now see where I could have shortcut so much of that stuff if I just said, Joe, let's invest in something, let's spend $100 and, you know, buy this course over here, use it, and then go up again kind of incrementally. Hi, Sam. And to kind of invest again. And, you know, if you can get over that fear of spending money when you haven't got much coming in, it will just really rocket your business so much, not only from being inspired by people around you online, but also from having that action. Because almost once you take that action, you're in the mindset of like, right, I've done this, I've paid for something, I'm going to show up and do it. And I don't know about you guys, but if I ever have a free course or something, you know, I might rock up and do some of it, but then I'm not that invested in it. I don't have much skin in the game, so I might sort of kind of drop off. You know, I've done some future learn ones, and some I've seen right to the end that have been amazing, and some I'm like, well, I kind of haven't paid for it, and I'm kind of busy, so I'm not going to finish it off. If you invest in something, you see it right to the end because you've got some skin in the game, and that's a kind of really important sort of commitment to yourself, and also a commitment to the person who's providing you with that value and with that content. So it's really exciting. So on next level stuff, we've spoken about outsourcing, about sort of growing into realizing that you can't do everything. Who wants to do everything in their business? Who is still doing everything in their business? You can do a little virtual hands up. Sarah, Betty, no, you are doing far too much in your business. I know that because your brilliant brain is working at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Here's the thing, guys, when you start to let go of a few tasks here and there, your energy, your genius is saved because you can work in your zone of genius, right? You can work what you're really, really good at while someone else is handling the stuff that makes you cry. And even if you're starting off with 1 hour a month, even if it's some, you know, if it's a task that really makes you want to reach for the gin bottle, let go of it. Let go of a small part of it. If you're not in a position yet where you can let go of all of it, let go a portion of it, okay? You love a coach, but you haven't got the money. Hi, Angela. Okay, that's a really brilliant point, right? This is something which I hear an awful lot. So here's the thing. Some coaches are like, you know, sort of $2,000 upwards to, you know, I've seen up to 35K is what I'm seeing at the moment and beyond, right? So if you're not in that stage at the moment, there are other ways that you can work with these people and be part of their world without investing that much in them. So, you know, Sarah's saying she listens to coaches on podcasts and YouTube, which helps. That's a brilliant way to absorb stuff. So you can read all their books, you can, you know, be on their blogs all the time. You know, whoever your mentors and your inspirational icons are, you can hang out with them in a free way by consuming their content, by, you know, getting their opt-ins, by listening to, to their podcasts. Then obviously a lot of them have programs. So I have Blogging for Business Bootcamp. So if you can't afford to work with me, you know, one-to-one, which is currently 2.5K, and I'm booking for next January. If you can't do that, then I've got Bootcamp, which you can really have kind of hands-on help, you know, with your content for $297. Or I've just opened up, sort of Next Level Labs membership group, which is $49 a month. And if you join now, it's $49 a month, but that's going to go up. So there's kind of ways of working with people. So I'm still in the groups. Thank you, Angela. So I'm still there, and you still have a call with me every month, and I'm there in the groups, you know, really, really looking after people. But it's not the one-to-one time yet, but you still have access to me, right? And there's still access to me, obviously, on things like Blabs. You know, I have my podcast out to people. So, you know, if you're not in the zone yet where you can invest in one-to-one, then doing a group program is such a helpful way to do it. And actually, that's where I started off was with 2 group programs. And not only did I learn from the coach and from the mentor, but I learned an incredible amount from my cohorts who were going through that with me. And actually, most of them became, clients. you know, many of them I've stayed with, and we've kind of grown together. And now, you know, like kind of 18 months later from doing some courses, we're now really helping out each other on our own programs. And so we can add value to each other by being people who've kind of almost grown up as power peers, you know, by really sort of learning each other's journeys and staying in contact with each other. You know, you then have a network of people who are growing with you. Hey, Richard, thanks for joining us. And you can then sort of call on these guys as your sort of power circle almost, you know, like sort of power peers. So, you know, there are certainly ways to work with people without going one-to-one. Hi, Richard, thanks for joining us. We're talking about getting your business to the next level. So I'd love to hear what everyone's next level looks like for them, any blocks you've found in getting your biz to the next level and stuff like that. Other blocks for me, so obviously we had investing, which I'm sure lots of you would resonate with. And as you know, as you shared, Angela, it's kind of, you know, not being able to invest in a coach, but we can find some ways to still work with people on a lower end way, but by still getting loads of value. Other things for getting to the next level was self-belief, was realizing and saying, do you know what, I really can do this. And I know in the early days for me, and I'd love to hear if you guys feel this, I used to feel real frustration around, I think I can do this, and I see other people doing it, and I really want to be one of these people that has influence and, you know, has kind of work-life balance and, you know, is growing a business without time for money and all this kind of stuff. But I just don't see how I can get there. And that was the missing piece for me, was not knowing how to get there. And I also didn't believe that I could. And obviously believing it is not the only missing piece, because you have to take action to get there. But really standing in the feeling of I'm going to do this and I'm going to work out how is really a game changer. That is the one where you almost switch on that light and the paths open up for you. You know, you've got to have your minds open all the time to think, right, I can do this. I am going to build myself a global business that's awesome, that works in the way that I want to work, you know. So for me, it was, I'm going to build a global business that works around my health stuff and my family. So I have 6-year-old twins, you know, 6-year-old sort of twin girls, and I also live and rock and roll with, you know, several kind of autoimmune health conditions. So I have to, you know, sort of devise some ways to work that are kind of really good for me. So it's about finding systems and finding methods that kind of work for you. So what blocks do you guys have that would, you know, that are currently holding you back in the way that you want to grow your business? So before we wrap up in a few minutes, I just want to hear some more stories. So we talked about things you can outsource. We talked about mindset stuff, surrounding yourself with other powerful people. And also, you know, as we said, if it's not, you know, in person, then hanging out virtually is as important as well. So doing things like this, you know, sort of finding blabs where people are, you know, sort of telling you stuff that's really important. It's kind of, you know, subscribe to people's blabs who are, you know, able to kind of coach you on stuff in a way that's really minimal investment. Any more keys before I wrap up? And also, any requests for more blabs? What kind of stuff do you want to hear about? What's driving you mad in your business that you can't solve? So, okay, so Sarah says, mine is debt, which I feel like I only do office work to cover. I need to create a mindset with my consultancy work from home, doing more of the work I love, but also need to hang out with more people like you. Well, we're hanging out right now, honey, and I know that, you know, that I'm going to see you in person soon. And that's the real thing, is by hanging out with people who are doing exactly what you want to do. You know, find out from them and from their material, from their blogs, from their podcasts, from their stuff, how they've done it, and then, you know, really start to work towards doing that for yourself. So, you know, there are, you know, everyone's journey is different, guys, and everyone has different blocks, have different reasons that will stop them from doing stuff. But your challenge is to find your way out of that, to kind of create the sort of business and life that you really want to be living. So I'm just going to put the link below to my Next Level Labs membership site, which is Next Level Labs business lesson. So I'm going to put this right here. At the moment, it's $49 a month recurring, and we've got amazing content in there. So if any of you want to join, you'd be so welcome in there, because that's a really good starter way to get surrounded by other people who are taking action. And feel free to email me, you know, your requests for a sort of future blabs on hello@dexterousdiva.co.uk, or you can tweet me at dexdiva. And thank you so much for joining me. Let me know what you thought about this. If you have any feedback, then please shoot me a line, and I'll see you soon. Bye.